Throughout the years, there's been a lot of new items added to Minecraft, but they all suck. Like, what are you supposed to do with the pot? It's literally useless. So to fix this problem, I'm gonna be collecting the most illegal items in the game, most of which have never been obtained in hardcore Minecraft, starting with a multi-shot 12 crossbow. But to get it, I first have to go to 3D shareware, and as you can tell, this looks a little different from the version we're used to, but I'll get more into that later. For now, let's find the crossbow, which has less than a 1% chance of spawning in these barrels, so let's get to searching. And there it is. That took way longer than it should have, but we don't talk about that. Oh, and if you're wondering if it actually works, now all I gotta do is transfer it to the main world. And that's the first item complete. And I think now's a good time to mention that I'm starting with the easier items and working up to the harder ones, eventually getting the items that don't even exist. But for now, let's get to work on the next item, which is dirt. But not just any piece of dirt, farmland, which according to the internet, it's impossible to obtain in survival. Or is it? Well, if I go to the 2022 one block at a time update, I can actually pick up any block. And not just blocks, I can also pick up animals. And I think you could see where I'm going with this. So if I find a village, then pick up a piece of farmland, I should be able to throw it on my head. Why does that look so weird? Anyways, then I should be able to transfer it to my main world, and I've officially obtained farmland. The next item I'm gonna get is an enchanted golden apple. Try saying that 5 times fast. Enchanted golden apple, enchanted golden apple, enchanted. I give up. Anyways, to get the apple, we have to go to 12W49A, and now we have to get a few items such as basic materials, an apple, and now the hard part. I need to get 8 golden blocks, because if you didn't know, in the older versions of Minecraft you could actually craft golden enchanted apples, and unlike newer versions of the game, there's no gold farm, so I'm gonna have to get it all manually. Okay, so I got all the gold, and now I just need to craft an enchanting table, enchant a book, then I need to use an anvil to put the enchanted book onto the golden apple, and I officially have an enchanted golden apple. Now I just need to transfer it to the main world, is what I would like to say, but I apparently made this world in the wrong version, meaning I can't transfer the item to my main world, making several hours worth of work gone, rendered useless, meaning I have to do all that work all over again. Okay, so it's been another few hours and I got another enchanted golden apple, this time in the right version. So now all I have to do is transfer it to the main world, and that's another illegal item complete. Now the next item I'm gonna get is a barrier block, and I know what you're thinking, but Mello, it's impossible to get a barrier block without commands. Well, if I jump to snapshot 20W16A, which is the first snapshot bastions were added, then if I find a bastion that has a lava basin and then clear out this lava pool, you'll see that there's a barrier block just sitting there. Why? I have no idea. But if I make this setup, then if I transfer the bastion to the one block at a time update, which as you can see, it's the version where I have both my hands, and now if I click this button, I'll be able to pick up the barrier. Now I just gotta transfer myself to the main world, and that's the barrier block done. And before I move on to the rest of the items, I'm gonna make a vault to store all the items. And instead of making it look like every boring vault, I'm gonna use barriers for the walls, so it looks like you're walking on air. Then I'm gonna put lava all around it. Why? Because I think it'll look cool. But before I do that, I need to get a couple materials. And now all I need is 262 barriers, which I'm just gonna do some off-camera grinding for. Whoa, would you look at that? It's all the barriers I need. I totally didn't dupe them. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyways, I think it's time to start making the vault. First, I need to clear up some space. Then I'm gonna make a fancy redstone door and put blocks around the edges so the lava doesn't spill. Now I just need to put down all the barriers, and finally I just need to put the lava down. And that's the vault complete. But as you can see, it's still empty. So on that note, let's get to work on the next item, which is only obtainable in Minecraft 2.0, which is just a really old April Fool's update. Now to get the item, I first need to find a lava pool and then make a nether portal. I forgot in this version there can't be anything in front of the portals or they won't work. Now if I go into the nether, you'll see that there's zombie pigmen holding enchanted signs, and if I kill them, they'll have a chance of dropping them. Oh wait, that one didn't drop one. There we go. But I want an actual good sign. And with there being over 706 combinations, I'm gonna be here for a while. Wait, this one's actually really good, and that didn't even take that long. I was ready to be here for several hours. Anyways, before I transfer the items, I want you to meet my friend. For some reason, when you feed sheep in this version, they get bigger. No, not Mr. Sheep! Anyways, I think it's time to move on to the next item, which is snowy grass. And since it was released, only a few people have managed to get the block, but no one has ever managed to get it as an item. Well, up until now. Yeah, I kind of figured out how to do it. So if I go to the 20W14 infinite dimension snapshot, then if I make a book and quill, write something in it, and then throw it into another portal, it'll open a random dimension. So if I get another book, then write sky grid in it, a dimension will be made that has every single block in the game. It even has structure blocks and command blocks. So if I find a snowy grass block, then transfer it to the 1 block at a time update, I'll be able to pick it up. And while it looks like just any normal grass block, if I go into third person, you'll see that it's actually snowy grass. And with that, I've officially obtained snowy grass. Oh wait, that was my only piece. Just kidding, I already did the full shulker box. Anyways, before I move on to the next item, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because for every subscriber we get off this video, I'm gonna be placing 1 snowy grass block. So if you want to claim your very own snowy grass block, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, back to the video. Okay, so for the next item, I need to go back to 3D shareware to search for a potion of luck, which has a really small chance of spawning in these barrels. And while I search for it, let me tell you a little bit more about this version. So the reason it looks like this is because 3D shareware is actually just a really old version of Minecraft, which was eventually turned into an April Fool's update, or at least that's what the wiki says. Anyways, now that I got the potion, I want to show you one last thing before we go back. So if I type this word in the chat, a horse will appear that runs hundreds of blocks a second and can jump over 34 blocks high, making it the best horse in the game. And having said that, I'm done here. So it's time to go back to my main world. Oh, and if you're wondering what the potion of luck does, it just gives you more luck when fishing or searching chests. Who would have thought? Anyways, the next few items I'm going to be getting shouldn't be obtainable without commands, but after some extremely difficult research, I figured out a way. But it requires me to go to 2014 infinite dimension snapshot, get a few materials such as slabs, buttons, and finally dispensers. Then if I open the sky grid dimension again, and then find all 3 different types of command blocks, make the same setup I use on the barriers, and finally if I transfer the chunks to the 1 block at a time update, I'll be able to pick up all 3 command blocks. Oh yeah, and I also did that for the structure block, but for some reason when trying to pick it up, it wouldn't let me. However, after a few tries, I finally got it. Now before I move on to the next few items, I'm going to be getting a couple items that will pretty much make me immortal. And there's actually 5 of them, 4 of which make a set of armor with every single enchantment on it. And for the last one, well, that one's a secret. So for now, let's focus on the armor, which can only be obtained in 1.14.2. And getting it is actually really time consuming since I have to beat the game. So... Oh, wait, let me catch my breath. There we go. That dragonfly was actually a lot easier than I remember it being. Anyways, now comes the hard part, actually getting the legal armor. And as you already know, getting regular enchanted armor is already really time consuming. So imagine getting a legal armor with every single enchantment on it. But not to worry, I already have a 3-step plan to ensure I get it as quick as possible. And it starts with looting cities. And the idea here is to get enough armor to get a good starting point, then build off that. And I already got some rockets. So all I need to do is get an elytra and finally start looting. Looting all the cities took up a lot less time than expected, but it still ate through my supply of rockets. And after only looting a couple cities, I was pretty much out of rockets. And now that I'm done, let's check out the haul. Oh, yeah, that's a lot less than I expected. So I think it's time to move on to... Okay, so the plan is to build an Enderman XP farm, so I'll be able to get the enchantments that I'm missing. But first, I need to get some materials, such as water, leaves, ladders, more leaves, lava, and finally, leaves. And now that I got all the materials, it's time to start building. And this farm's actually really simple. All I have to do is build 128 blocks into the void. Then I gotta make an 11 by 22 platform of leaves with blocks in the middle. And finally, I just need to make the killing chamber. And boom, I'm done with the farm. But I'm also gonna add an enchantment table with some books. And now to actually combine the different protection enchantments, yeah, it's actually that simple. So now I just have to get perfectly enchanted illegal armor. And as you can see, I now have every enchantment. Well, every enchantment except mending. So it's time for... Okay, to finish the armor off, I just need to get 2 mending books and then put the books onto the armor. And I officially have the best armor in the game. So all I have to do is transfer it to the main world and turn it into netherite. But I don't have any netherite. And I'm also going to add the rarest trim onto the armor. And now that I actually have the best armor in the game, it's time to move on to the 5th item that will make me immortal, which is a stack of 64 totems. And as you know, it's normally impossible to stack totems. But if I go back to my 1.14 world and then update the world to 1.17, I'll actually be able to do a glitch that lets me stack totems. So let's make a simple raid farm and AFK it until I have enough totems. Yeah, so it turns out this farm doesn't even work, so I'm just gonna get some better gear and do the raids the old-fashioned way. Food break. Yeah, it's been several hours and I only have 16 totems, so I'm just gonna build another raid farm, smack some pillagers, and that's all the totems I should need. So now I just need to get a Curse of Vanishing book and put it on the totem. Wait, you have got to be... Okay, so after doing some more research, it turns out that you can only enchant the totems in creative, and for some reason that didn't cross my mind when testing it out. So on that note, it's time for the next item, which is an odd one, netherite boots. And I know what you're thinking, how are netherite boots illegal? Well, it's because they have negative 69 durability. So to get them, I first need to search some bastions for some netherite, and then trade with piglins to get a soul speed 3 book. And now that I got the boots, I need to downgrade my world to 20W11A, and I'll be able to get negative durability by just running on soul sand. So enjoy this super cool montage. And while we're on the topic of armor, I'm gonna be getting the most unusual armor set in the game. So let's go to beta pre-release 3, get some basic materials. And now I need 29 diamonds, but I don't have 29 diamonds. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I finally got all the diamonds, and now I'm going to use them to make a full set of armor, a pickaxe, and finally an enchanting table. And now that I got the armor, I need to find a stronghold for books and XP, which is luckily marked by these huge glass pillars. So let's get some books, and now I just got to AFK here until I get enough XP. This is going to take a while. And now that I got the XP, I'm gonna make a quick enchantment setup, enchant all the armor, and if you're wondering what enchantment I got, woohoo, I got the enchanted enchantment. Anyways, if I update the world to beta 1.9 pre-release 4, all the armor will default to feather falling. So now I just need to transfer the armor to the main world. Now this next item is gonna make a lot of you happy, since it requires me to kill hundreds of piglins, and we all know how annoying they are. Like, bro! Anyways, to get the item, I have to downgrade my world to a 1.16 snapshot, and now I need hundreds of rockets, since to actually get the item, I need to fly from bastion to bastion, ending every single piglin I see, and for some reason that will make the item I'm getting even more illegal. So let's start bastion raiding. Yeah, so I'm just not realizing how rare of a drop this is. So to hopefully speed up the process, I'm going to enchant my sword with looting, which should hopefully give the piglins a slightly better drop rate. Okay, so it's been a bit and I finally got my first illegal drop, and while it's nice, I want an even more overpowered one with loads of enchantments. So it's time to get back to work, and for the most part the bastion raiding went extremely smooth, but there was this one part where I went into a bastion and the piglin almost one-shot me. Wait, no, and at this point I really thought I was gonna die, but then I remembered that every single time you join the game you get spawn protection, so I just abused that mechanic and killed the piglins. Anyways, after that little incident, I just kept looting bastion after bastion, making sure to keep my distance this time so I wouldn't almost die again. Okay, so it's been about an hour and I have 3 pieces of equipment with so much enchantments on it that they don't even fit on the screen, and that's the piglin equipment complete. Now for the next time I need to go to the 1 block at a time update, and now I need to beat the game. So let's grab a chicken and start searching for a ruined portal. Wait, is that a skeleton using binoculars? That's pretty ironic. Anyways, now I just need to find another fortress since the chests have end portal frames in them. And now if I place the last frame down, it'll make an inverted nether portal. So now if I get a chicken and a skeleton and combine them, I'll be able to shoot the end crystals. and that's actually all I have to do. And now, as you can see, these endermen are holding a bunch of random items, so I just need to wait until one spawns with the player head. And now I just need to ride the dragon into the void, and it will take me back to the overworld, because in this version you could apparently do that. And now I just need to transfer the item to the main world. And now that I have Steve's head, it's time to move on to the next item, which is milk. And I know what you're thinking, how is milk illegal? Well, it's because it comes from a squid, but let's not ask any questions. Anyways, to get the milk I have to go to beta 1.2, and as you can see, there's a couple differences. The first one being that I'm not hardcore anymore, and the second one is that I don't have a hunger bar. Now, to obtain the milk, I need to get some basic materials, then I need to smelt some iron, and now I just need to make a bucket and find a squid. And if I'm in the right version, I should be able to. Yes, I just milked a squid. And again, I'm not going to think about it too much, since last time I checked, squids don't produce milk. Now that the questionable item is out of the way, it's time to obtain a protection 5 book. So let's go to version 1.14, and now I need to get some materials to make a lectern. Then I need to find a village so I could trade for any level 5 enchanted book. No. Ooh, nice. Now I just need to chop down some trees, turn them into sticks, then trade them for emeralds. And I need to repeat this until I get enough emeralds. Okay, so I got a decent amount of emeralds, so it's time to trade for a book. Oh, I kind of forgot that their trades reset if you don't buy from them. Nice. Okay, now I just need to downgrade my world to 1.13, and then I need to downgrade again to 18W22A. And if you're wondering why I had to downgrade twice, it's because the world would just continuously crash if I didn't. Anyways, now I just need to put the book in the chest and finally update the world to 18W22B. And as you can see, the book has converted to protection 5 book. And if you're wondering why I don't just put this on my armor, it's because it will just give me protection 4 instead of 5. Now, before I move on to the items that don't even exist, there's 2 more items that I want to obtain. The first one being an item that has no name, and the second one is an uncraftable pink potion. So let's start with a nameless item, which can only be obtained in 12W41A. And instead of choosing just any random item, I've decided to use a music disc. So while we wait for nighttime, let's get some basic materials and some iron for an anvil. And now to get the music disc, I just need a skeleton to shoot a creeper. Bro! Okay, so as I was saying, I just need a skeleton to shoot a creeper, and the creeper will drop a random music disc. So now I just need to use an anvil to remove the name. Oh, it turns out the crafting recipe wasn't added in this version. So let's quickly update the game to 1.14 and then downgrade back. And that's the nameless item complete, which means it's time to move on to the uncraftable potion, which I forgot to get from 3D shareware earlier. And just like the other items, this potion is also found in the barrel. No. Oh, nice. First try. Now I just need to transfer the item to the main world. Now, as you can see, I still need to collect 4 items, but I've already collected every illegal item in Java. So it's time for... Okay, so now that I'm in Bedrock, you could see that I'm not hardcore anymore, meaning I could die as much as I want. Anyways, I'm here to get illegal items, not continuously die over and over again. So I think it's time to get to work on the first item, which requires me to beat the game. So let's quickly get some basic materials, melt down some iron, make a nether portal, find a fortress. Bro! Kill some blazes, spend several hours trading with villagers since there's no warped forest in this version, make eyes of ender, find a stronghold, shoot all the crystals, and finally punch the dragon 1,000,000 times until he croaks. It's been 5 hours. Anyways, now I just need an elytra to make traveling around a lot easier, and now I could focus on getting the end gateway block, which requires me to summon a wither. So let's find the fortress and start getting some wither skulls. There's 1, 2, and there's the final one. Okay, so now I just need to make a simple contraption, summon a wither, and if I did everything right, there should be... Yes! A gateway block. Now, before I move on to the next item, I'm gonna quickly dupe these so I won't lose them. Then I'm gonna make a base of operations. And you cannot tell me this doesn't look insane. And now it's time to move on to the next item, which is an item I bet you didn't even know existed. So let's go to 1.16.40.20. Wait, that name's a bit long. There we go. Now I need to summon another ender dragon to get another end gateway portal. So let's kill a couple gas, make some end crystals, and go fight the dragon. Oh, I kind of forgot about the wither from earlier. And problem solved. Now if I kill the dragon again, another end gateway will appear. So now I just need to make a simple gravity block tuber, and now if I send blocks such as sand or gravel through it, they'll convert to any random item that's in the game. It could even give you bedrock and other illegal items. So now I just have to repeat this process until I get the block that I'm looking for. And it's been about 20 minutes and I already got the block I was going for, which is the border block. And when placed, it lets out redstone particles, but sadly you can't place them in survival. Now even though I already have the border block, I want to keep going to see what other other blocks I may get. And continuing here was definitely the place, since after only 30 minutes I got fire, bedrock, and finally a jigsaw block. And if you thought that was the last block I was getting using this glitch, you're wrong. You see, after doing some more research, I've found one extremely game-breaking item that you can obtain doing this glitch. So let's get back to work. It's been an hour and I got the light block, and you may be wondering, how's a light block game-breaking? Well, it's because they're an invisible block that emits lots of light, preventing any mob from spawning. And even though it says light level 4, when I transfer it to Java, it'll become a light level 15 block. Now for the two final items, I need to update one last time to 1.17, and the first item is actually really easy to obtain. I just need to make this simple redstone contraption, then get a silk touch shovel, and I'll be able to infinitely farm nether portal blocks. And with that item done, I can move on to the final item, which is the hardest illegal item to obtain, since it only spawns in a woodland mansion that has the fake end portal room, making it near impossible to obtain. However, I luckily have this tool known as chunk base that helps me locate woodland mansions throughout the world. However, I have almost no rockets left and my elytras are about to break. The rocket issue can easily be fixed by just duping them. However, the elytras are a bit harder since I need mending and unbreaking, and like usual, I resorted to scamming villagers. And now that I got those problems sorted, I just need to start raiding woodland mansions until I find the fake portal room. No. No. Yo, let's go! And now I just need to transfer the items to the main world, is what I would like to say. But it turns out most of the items like end gateway blocks and border blocks don't exist in Java. So I can only transfer the jigsaw block and the light block. Now to fill up the last two spots, I'm just going to use bedrock and end portal frames that I got from a previous video. And that's every illegal item complete. Throughout the years, there's been a lot of new items added to Minecraft, but they all suck! And while that's how I felt at the start of the video, as I started playing older versions, it brought back so many memories and reminded me of how big of a part Minecraft actually had on my childhood.